Pause kwanza. Asanteni sana to those who are joining. Thank you so much to those who are joining. Karibuni sana. Today we have the Director Human Rights and Democracy here in Eldoret, Honorable Ngetich. Na tumemwita tu leo aweze kutusaidia kuanalyze zile siasa ambayo inaendelea hapo Uasin Gishu na pia on the nation at large. We have seen a lot of local wrangles hapo Uasin Gishu. Na pia tumeona msuko pale katika the national politics ambayo tumeona mambo ya ODM imeanza kuchemka, na pia kuna mambo katika wa Munyoro. So ulikuwa unatueleza Bwana Ngetich about the current county politics. Tumeona there has been a lot of blame game between the former governor and the current governor of Uasin Gishu. Kila mmoja anasema kufanya projects namna hii, mwingine anasema tuliweza kuona pia kama sasa the current governor Chelili aliweza kusema ile kazi alikuwa anauliza yule governor ambaye alitoka, ile kazi ambayo ukufanya kwa miaka 10 utatarajia aje mimi nifanye kwa miaka 2 na mimi si Yesu? If I can just quote like that. So what do you think is the cause of all this?
I believe the main cause of this political wrangles or dispute between the sitting governor and the sitting senator is as a result of a question of superiority complex, in that every one of them wants to be known as the one that has greater voice than the other one, which is not good for our people, it is not good for development. We are aware that in politics, people believe on something and people have certain political lineage. The two of them belong to different political lineage, and that's what is causing all these things. They believe two different things. They have a different political lineage, which it is not good and it's not healthy for our for Uasin Gishu County and for the Kalenjin community as large. In fact, we have to be brought as a Uasin Gishu County government having to be a place where the head of the state comes from. He was once an MP here, he is now the president. So this kind of wrangles that is existing between the two leaders, or even by larger extension among the sitting MPs, it is not good. They should actually demonstrate the aspect of unity more than any other county, because it is a reflection of where the president comes from. So this question of superiority complex is a question that they should really do away with it and learn to work together, learn to listen to each other. You see, the problem that we are having now is that each politician has a group of individuals whom I cannot call them advisors. I can call them rocky individuals, because these are the one creating camps and they are the one inciting these leaders to fight.
What do you have to say about here in Uasin Gishu? We have seen there is a Team A and Team B. You know, people are making alignments and coalitions now that you are heading to the 2027. So what do you have to say about this alignment?
What I can say is that these kind of alignments are actually primitive in nature, because the offices all these leaders are occupying are public offices, and they are elected into that office. And at one time, those offices, after the time frame, the constitutional time frame of 5 years, will be vacant, and there will be people seeking for those offices. So they should know that those offices are not their properties. They don't own those offices. They are doing there on behalf of the public, and the public demands services from them. The public demands leadership from them. So they should actually realize that they will not be there forever. They will be here today and somebody else will be in that office. So why should all these wrangles come from? Why should they fight? In fact, they should be the people showing Kenya the unity of purpose, the way the president has been trying to bring everybody on board. So his own people from his own backyard, especially Uasin Gishu, they should set an example. That's why I'm saying this kind of wrangles that we are seeing in Uasin Gishu, it is totally primitive. That's the best description that can be given. Yeah.
Totally primitive.
Yeah.
Mambo ya kingpins. Kingpinship. Ama hiyo inasema wazi kingpinship, na tuliweza kuona we are still sending our condolences to Jackson Mandago for losing his mother. Na tuliweza kuona Kagile Orgai Gabnandi led by one chairman Koyoki, ambaye alikuja na akaendorse Mandago akasema, now Mandago, you are the kingpin of North Rift region. Na Joanna Ngeno, you are the kingpin of South Rift. What do you have to say about that?
I want to explain it from a larger context, in that it was unfortunate for the sitting senator, Honorable Mandako, to agree to be misled by confused individuals, because the likes of Koyoki is totally confused and is somebody who is after something else. Is not after any good about leadership. The question of hierarchy in the Kalenjin community, it is something that it is obviously open. We have the president who happened to be the son of the Kalenjin community. So that hierarchy is undisputed. So anybody else who just come and create some other hierarchies in between here are totally misguided. And they are doing it for their own selfish, individualistic reasons. They are not doing doing that for the common good of the Kalenjin community. For instance, how can one be grown as a kingpin of the Kalenjin community when we have the president who is a Kalenjin coming from this area? It is the level of madness, because you see, the only way kingmanship or kingwomanship can come is after wider consolidation that comes from grassroots, and it has to involve different elders at different levels. So if one can ask, who did Koyoki consult? Where was that discussion? Where was it held? He was passing a message from who? So it's just an non-starter, a very totally confused character. So we are telling Senator Mandako, he should not be misguided. And if he can continue agreeing to be misguided in such level, his politics also, his political career might end up into oblivion. You have to be very careful.
Those are the people who are believed by many to have a superpowers. We saw even the former president Uhuru Kenyatta alikuja akaenda kule akavalisha ile kitu inaitwa Sambu.
We want also to say that as much as there is this kind of culture within the community of the Kalenjins, to an extent that we are people who belong to the Orkai community, that culture has been hijacked. And some people have created fictions and fictitious information for their own selfish gains. One, they are capitalizing on fear or prophecy, which is actually wrong. They are capitalizing on that. So that when they tell you, okay, it is so and so is going to be a leader, because of that fear, you say, okay, they have said. That is wrong. That's not acceptable.
In fact, what he said is, no one should dare point a finger to the person they have elevated to be the kingpin.
I just want to give an advice to Honorable Mandako. He should come back to his right senses and not be misguided by such confused elements who knows nothing about leadership. For instance, we have been having people who declare themselves as prophets, like Prophet War. And you can see that the kind of things that he's doing is contrary even to the biblical teachings. It is the same like Mr. Koyoki. So that's a very confused character. And I've told you from the beginning is that they create fear. And when they create that fear, they will manipulate you. So they are trying to sell fear among the Kalenjin community. They are also trying to sell fear among the residents of Uasin Gishu County that we have spoken. Is spoken with you. The Talai community is a larger clan. It is not isolated. It's a larger clan. So did Koyoki consult the larger clan of the Talai community? He never. And who chose him to be the spokesperson of the Talai community, if we may ask? So we are telling him, please stop confusing our people, stop confusing our leaders. Provide with them what we call wisdom for leadership. But not just an embarrassment that when somebody is just mourning, you are creating a very serious embarrassment. It was a big shame. When someone is mourning the loss of his mother, you are just coming here to crown him as a kingpin of the Kalenjin community. So I want to tell Ngeno and Mandako, they should be very careful. These characters have set them on a very serious political fire. And they are also setting them directly against the hierarchy that we also already know. We have an hierarchy in the Kalenjin community. And that is His Excellency the President, who happens to be the child of this community. So where does other hierarchies come from?
Okay, kama ungeulizwa as a political analyst, whom do you think is the head of the North Rift region and the South Rift?
What I can say is that we have leaders who have come a long way. And we have leaders who have been in position of leadership for some time, like now the Honorable Mandago. Such persons should actually be the one leading an example of good leadership that has good manners. Why do I say good manners? Leadership that provide direction to the community where they should go, and also ensures that our people remains one as a people, not to divide them. Yeah. So if we can have people who can unite the Kalenjin community and make them speak with one voice, make them follow the same direction where the president wants, we can call that person the most senior Kalenjin leader within the North Rift region, but we don't have them. We have individuals who are selfish, moving all around, trying to intimidate everyone.
So in your own view, Atuna, that
we don't have it. We don't have it. There is a vacuum. We don't have it. We don't have it.
Okay, basing on the comments hapa, naona kuna mtu anauliza mwambie atuchagulie kati ya Mandago. We have Mandago, we have Cherargei, we have CS Murkomen, muuliza, we have Oscar Sudi. Muuliza hapa North Rift, lakini umesema hakuna mtu ambaye
ningependa tu kusaidia huyo mwenzangu mwenye ameuliza swali kama hilo kwa lugha ambalo linaeleweka vizuri. Sisi tukiwa jamii ya Kalenjin community tuko na viongozi. Na tuko na viongozi ambapo wengi wao wamekaa kwa muda fulani, wako na ujuzi fulani wa uongozi, na kuna wengi pia wamekaa kwa huo uongozi bila kunufaika na ujuzi wa uongozi. Kwa hivyo tunaweza sema kwamba haya mambo ya kusema huyo ndio kiongozi kuu kwa hao viongozi ya wakale ni jambo ya kufedhehesha kwanza, na ni jambo la aibu. Because hawa watu wamechaguliwa kwanza from different constituencies. Na hiyo different constituencies, watu wa hizo constituencies wana maono tofauti ya kimaendeleo na mahitaji. You see? So yule tu mwenye atakuwa na mfano mzuri wa uongozi kuhakikisha kwamba watu wetu wanaongea lugha moja, watu wetu wanapata maendeleo jinsi vile inavyotakikana. Vijana wetu wameangaliliwa matatizo yao ya masomo na kikazi. Wamama wameangaliliwa shida zao za uchumi. Huyo tunaweza kusema sasa ni kiongozi mwenye ana mwongozo bora. So tunahitaji viongozi ambao wana mwongozo bora na masuala endelezi ya kusaidia jamii kimaendeleo na kijamii na kisosialia.
Sawa, tukimalizia hapo kwa Jackson Mandago. Pia Mandago kwa hiyo siku ambayo aliendosiwa kuwa kingpin, aliweza kupinpoint pia akaendorse wajumbe wawili. Mmoja ni wa Keses constituency na mwingine ni wa anaitwa DK wa Soi constituency. What do you have to say about that?
I had mentioned earlier that this question of endorsement is a primitive culture that we really don't want to bring into our community. Because when you just pinpoint that, okay, that is the MP for that place, that is the MP, and you know actually this is an elective position where people will decide. People will go and seek votes. And whoever will manage to persuade people in that level of the ward, of the constituency and the county will be elected. So this kind of naming people that this is so and so is a culture of dictatorship. And that's how dictators developed. So we are telling them, this kind of dictatorship that you are trying to develop, it kills democracy.
Like
it is not healthy,
no.
it is not progressive, it is not progressive
I
at
want to
all.
dispute you kidogo hapo kwa dictatorship kwa sababu hii tu ni wanataka kuona nani ako na influence. Remember pale Nyanza, the late right honorable Raila Odinga, yeye angesema huyu ndiye atakuwa senator, kila mtu angempigia simu, angempigia kura. So maybe hapa pia Wasingishu, the kingpin ambaye alikuwa amewekwa, alikuwa anaona ni kama pia ako na usemi ya ku-influence. It's not about dictating kwa sababu at the end of the day, kila mwananchi ataenda kupiga kura yake binafsi kwa secret ballot. So tulikuwa tunaona ni kama influence kwa sababu we can have political alignments and it is allowed by law. Inakubalika pia mtu kufanyia mwenzake.
Well said, and it is good that you have mentioned the late Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yes.
The voice of the late Honorable Raila Odinga was a voice for unity of purpose. And that's why that voice kept the Luo community together. So these voices we are hearing here in Wasingishu and somewhere else, are they keeping our people together? They are dividing them. So there is a difference between a voice of unity for purpose and influence for unity for purpose and divisionary tactics. Because whatever voices that we are hearing from these different groups of our members of parliament, they are dividing our people down the middle. And the voice of Raila was a voice of unity among the Luo community. And that's why we are telling them, stop dividing our people. We want our people to be united, especially as we go now towards the 2027 election. We want to see our people united. And that's the most important fundamental thing that we will do good for our president, is to remain united, to speak with unity, to agree in a democratic way, to disagree in a democratic way, and find ways of solving our issues internally, not through exposure. Because you see now, we are telling other people that, okay, we are also fighting at home. So it is also a negative political theatrics. Or that they should actually come back to their right senses and stop it. It is primitive anyway in its own nature. Yeah.
Okay, tumeona pia kumekuwa na tension pale county government ya Wasingishu ambayo we saw kulikuwa na vita baina ya Kanjos na wale vijana wa bodaboda. So what do you have to say about the current relation of the Wasingishu county officials na wananchi? Na pia ukiongezea tuambie by extension, kwa sababu tuliweza kusikiza the current governor wa Wasingishu akisema ya kwamba yule mfanyikazi ambaye hata msupport, yule mfanyikazi ambaye anasema one term, ana risk kupoteza kazi yake.
Ningependa kusema kwamba watumishi wa county ambao wamepewa mamlaka kutumikia ofisi fulani, inafaa wafanya kazi yao kulingana na sheria ambazo zimewekwa kulinda hizo maofisi. Na wakati ambapo wanatoka nje ya hiyo sheria, ndio inaletesha haya masukosuko na utofauti kati wao na wafanyabiashara kama hao wa boda. Kwa sababu ukiendeleza dhuluma, hiyo tension itakuja. Na hiyo tension ikikuja, kutakuwa na furuku jinsi vile tulivyoona. So tunaomba kwamba tekelezeni kazi yenu kwa mujibu ya sheria ambazo zilisoko na kulingana na katiba. Tumikieni wananchi. Kama kuna mtu amekosa, kuna sheria, akamatwe, astakiwe. Lakini sio dhuluma. Yale mambo tunasema ambayo umesema kwamba of intimidation by the current governor to the workers that tell the governor, he should recant that statement. It shows high level of immaturity. And it is also a high level of hypocrisy. Because you cannot use your position to intimidate your staff or your workmate to follow a decision that it is not theirs. Everybody has a democratic right of choice and association. And it is there in our own constitution. So as you dictate to them or intimidate them that there will be consequences if you cannot support me, That's not the right way to go as a leader. The governor of Uasin Gishu County was elected against another person who wanted also that position. So after the election, he became the president of the county, the governor of all the people. So you should not actually be saying that, okay, if you don't want to choose where I'm going politically, you'll face the consequences. You should stop.
Okay, tuliona pia the same governor supported the Council of Governors move to boycott Senate summons. Kwa sababu walisema the senators are using it as an extortion ring. Wanawaitisha pesa ili waweze kuapia pale ama ili waweze ku smoothen their appearance kule Senate. What do you think about this?
One thing that I want to say is that to some extent I agree with them. The committee, the County Public Accounts Committee, there has been actually those complaints of extortion. And those complaints can be supported by the mere fact that a number of senators who had serious issues, in one way or another, might have greeted them, the senators. And that's why those senators never forwarded any recommendation for their arrest and their prosecution. So there has been a question of bribery and extortion. I agree with them. But having said that, is that governors also should know that the Constitution requires them to account for the public funds. The way they are using it, they should account. And they should provide that information before the Senate, which is actually the watchdog on matters devolution. So as much as we are saying away from aspects of accountability, even if a new committee is composed, they should also still remember that they have an obligation to carry out the aspects of accountability. They should not also use it as a safety net to hide high level of corruption that we are seeing in our county government. And by the way, reports from the Auditor General among all our counties, a good number of them, are serious indicators of organized crime on matters of financial malpractice. And they are there because governors are given money, and they are given good money. For instance, here in Uasin Gishu, if today we parade our governor and we call him on a public baraza and just tell him, okay, governor, just give us an accountability of not all the money that you are given, just the 5 billion. What have you done with it? Give us that accountability publicly. Publish what you have done with those money. You will see there will be issues, definitely. So we are telling them, you cannot run away from question of accountability because of some certain elements who misbehave at the Senate.
Lakini mbona tu wasiende wapia na wasipeane pesa? I think nobody is forcing them to give money, right?
I think also the question of money comes in because they also know there are serious issues that will lead them to be arrested on matters corruption. If those things were not there, nobody would have actually given out money. Yeah, but for sure, money was given to senators, some certain senators, and it is in public domain that there were serious issues of corruption that was raised by the Auditor General report. Yeah.
As a leader who is based in Eldoret, kulikuwa na governor pia alikuwa amesuggest the name of Uasin Gishu to be changed to Eldoret. What do you think about that? Is it ama ni diversion to mambo ya?
We want to tell our governor, these gymnastics are too much for our people, and he should actually stop this. we want service delivery. Names and changing names cannot provide services to the common wananchi. And we want to tell him he should stop that and focus on what we call service delivery. Whether Eldoret remains, Uasin Gishu remain Eldoret or remain Uasin Gishu the way it is, the bottom line is that are they offering the right services to the ordinary Kenyans? For example now, Eldoret town is a city. And there are certain issues that the city has to portray after being given that name alone. So if an assessment can be done today after the Eldoret city was elevated to that position, can we have tangible results? Can we have something positive that has really transformed Eldoret town into a city? Those are some of the serious things we have to look into in terms of infrastructure, in terms of service delivery, especially now on matters to do with housing, water, provision, Are we up to date? Are we really actually approaching the level of being a renowned city in Africa?
Now that you're talking about Uasin Gishu, there has been complaint about unfair hiring in the county. Na pia bill ya elders. Watu wamelalamika sana kwamba the bill was exaggerated. So are this part of the gymnastics you're talking about?
Well, I can say it can be part of it because you see, as a service provider, to the standard that is required. Quality and affordable services to the one. People talking of questionable disconnection. So in terms of there's now a question of quality assurance. So they should look into that. And they should look into the question of using old systems in terms of peeling water. We have old systems that should actually be removed from these water services so that we will be able to see the right things being given to the wananchi. Yeah.
Let's talk about ODM. Let's talk about ODM. Tumeona ODM imesplit. We have seen one group who wants to work with the president, and we have also seen another group who want to have their own candidate when it comes to 2027. Swali ni what is really causing this split?
It is good that you have mentioned the question of ODM and the current political situation that we are witnessing in the country. What is happening with ODM, it is something big, and I want to make this known to the common mwananchi that whatever is happening in ODM is a highly calculated move by the detractors who are against the unity pact between His Excellency the President and the ODM party. So what we are seeing is a strategy by the opposition. And this strategy, I can break it into 3 or 4 ways. One, they want to ensure that the Luo community is divided in the middle. And that's why they are now sponsoring James Wrangles, Yaya governor, to come in as a spokesperson of the Luo community. That's one of the strategies. And that strategy is being sponsored by the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, and Kalonzo Musyoka. The second strategy, they wanted to ensure that the leadership of ODM is destabilized. And they have done that, and that's why they have already fished out Sifuna and other leaders within the ODM leadership to cause wrangles. It's a strategy also from the opposition. The third strategy, they want to divide the family of the late Raila Odinga into the middle. And that's why now they have brought Winnie to divide that family. But lucky enough, there is a consolidation among the Luo elders who are trying to show Winnie the right way. So they want to ensure that there is disunity within the family of the late Raila Odinga.
In your own opinion, unasema ni mambo ya opposition.
It is a strategy from the opposition.
But we had
it's a strategy from the opposition.
We had the likes of Sifuna saying ODM is being governed remotely from the State House.
Those are just mere politics. Sifuna himself is a sponsored agent of the opposition, and he knows that very well, and he's doing that very well because he has already made up his mind. He's getting out, he has a different formation, and he's working for Aqua. I had mentioned that this is a strategy, and the strategy in the middle by using Siaya Senator James Orengo. Dividing the ODM leadership, they have already taken away Sifuna. Dividing Raila's family, they have already taken Winnie to use her to cause division in the family of Raila Odinga. And by extension, they have also come to the Kalenjin community. They have also taken some certain leaders in our community to cause disunity among the Kalenjin community. And all these things is to distract the unity pact between the president and the ODM. So we want to ask actually the UDA leadership under President, His Excellency President William Ruto, to be on the watch out, because this is a calculated move by the opposition. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
ODM is a party. It's a political party. It has its own rules of engagement. And it has its own leadership. You see? And anything that emanates from the party's decision has structures of lawful mechanism that has to be used. If Sifuna was raising a genuine complaint, did he request it for the delegate meeting or the next meeting so that he raises these issues within the party hierarchy? Went out gun blazing. You can see from the beginning the way he has been targeting the president. He has been targeting the president in his own statement. Well, anytime he gets a microphone, the first person that he targets is His Excellency the President. What was the reason? It's because he's playing the role to please his masters, which we know it is Kalonzo and Rigathi Gachagua.
So you are saying Sifuna is a mole?
Yeah, he's a mole. He's an agent.
There is one question that he raised recently. Alisema zile mikutano za ODM is not being funded by the party. So who is funding these meetings?
I can say that is a confused character, because you see, ODM is a party that has been in existence for a long time in terms of support and in terms of finance. It is well established. It has its own finance to run its own issues. An issue has today that, okay, him as when he was actually the SG of ODM, because now he's no longer an SG of ODM, because he cannot be, because there is a decision that has been made already. Even when there is a case pending somewhere else, that party belongs to people who have the voice against anything else. It is the voice of the leadership of the party that will determine where ODM is going. And they have a leadership already in place.
When he was the SG, alisema, hakuna pesa imetolewa kwa account to fund these events. And the events were still ongoing.
One, I would wish if Senator Sifuna is talking about that, he attaches a request that he has been making to the NEC that we have such an activity and we require certain amount, and those money was not given. Yeah. Does he have those records as an AG that one time I requested a NEC to release certain amount of money for a certain function and it was not released and the function went on to justify his claims?
No. He is saying, anasema, sikuna ila account ya ODM as a party. So, anasema, hakuna pesa ambayo imetolewa kwa account. But running millions worth events.
Let me inject wisdom to this excited senator, because he's just a small boy in politics. You should realize that parties are formed by people. And in most cases, the people who form these parties normally do it with their own resources. They do it with their own resources. They do it with their own resources. There are very many good volunteers within the parties, even in UDA, in any party, even in Wiper. There are very many volunteers. In Wiper today say we are having a meeting somewhere and somewhere. There are good people who can give out money for that function. So this kind of dynamics that we are seeing from Sifuna is because he's an agent. I want to challenge him. If he's a man enough, and if he believes that he's so popular, can he do what the late Raila did by resigning and seeking re-election to another party? Can he prove that? So we want also to advise Bobo Wino, don't follow people who are just confused. You see the other time when Malala was making a lot of noise until an extent that there was reports in the media that he was going to exit DCP. It was just a question of sharing the money. So when they sat with Gachagua and shared those money, everything cooled down.
So it was just a matter of sharing the money. Wacha nikuulize, if ODM continues to weaken, how will that affect the 2027 election?
One thing that I want to say is that ODM is a large party and it has been in existence for a long time. And whatever angles that we are seeing will strengthen ODM more than before. Because one, It's a question of time. The entire ODM fraternity will realize that these are agents that are being sent to destroy ODM. And they will come back, they will unite. Yeah.
So in your own opinion, eventually these guys will go back to ODM?
They will not, because they have already exited, and they have their own exit strategy. And the exit strategy that is now going on is destabilizing ODM. They are not coming back.
How can you describe the strength of Edwin Sifuna?
I can only say it is just
Sifuna. Naona hapa kuna maswali ambayo watu wanaendelea kuuliza, maybe you can just ask, since that has been a norm in Kenya, Kenyan politics. The Iron Lady anauliza.
One,
yes,
it is very important to give information regarding to your safety and security. And there are steps that you can do. One, report that incident of threat to the authorities and make sure that you have an OP. If you are witnesses, allow those witnesses also to record their statement. Then after doing that, share largely those information with human rights bodies and other relevant government officers for the purposes of follow-up. Because without you sharing that information, it will be very difficult for us to understand the level of danger that you are in. Yeah.
Okay. Aya, sawa, kuna mtu anauliza, President William Ruto is working with the former rivals and building a broad political alliance. How strong do you think his election chances are right now?
What I can say is that if there is any leader that is lucky for getting a smooth re-election, is President William Ruto. And the reasons are very many. One, he has managed to dismantle the question of discrimination on matters of development. He is carrying out development across the country. Kenya now feels that there is a leader, there is a government, because of him taking development across all the country. Two, he has managed to talk and agree with his political partners the way on how to bring peace and harmony in the country. And that alone has given him an altitude to create more friendship with many other like-minded political parties. Because you see, the voices that we are hearing outside there, mostly even from the opposition and from the likes of Rigathi Gachagua, is as a result of tribalism and hatred. It's not a question of policy differences. It is a question of tribalism and hatred. And they have shown the people of Kenya that they are the only valuable people that must be given chance to lead this country. So the question around other communities, which is large and loud, is that when will our own also be in that office? So that question alone is uniting all those people along where President Ruto is. And that's why we are seeing His Excellency the President is getting more support from the Somali community, the Muslim community, and all small tribes, just because the voices of tribalism and hatred is loud outside there. Yeah.
Tukimalizia, from a human rights and governance position point of view, as we enter 2027 election, there are a lot of fears about the safety of the bloggers na pia the political commentators. So how can you tell, or what do you have to tell us about the safety of these people as a human rights director?
One thing that we all have to understand as a country,
yes,
we have a constitution. And that constitution guarantees freedom of speech, freedom of association, and freedom of movement. It is there within our constitution. The only question that should linger in our minds, whether you're a blogger, you're an activist, as you exercise those freedom and rights, are you also doing the right thing? Because if that right that you are exercising, you have substituted those freedoms with insults and abuses, definitely you will have to face consequences, because there will be a reaction. And a reaction might not be good. So we also need to be very careful on what we are talking. Yeah. As we also exercise that space, can we also agree to safeguard privacy? Because it is there in our constitution. You should not interfere with the rights of another person. As you exercise your own freedom of speech and information, kindly please allow the tenets of the constitution to prevail when you are doing that. Yeah.
Okay, maybe tukielekea kumalizia, wacha nikuulize tu, seeing the division of the ODM, the local Wrangles hapo was an issue, and the political hit that is coming up. What do you have to say? What bigger message do they send about the future of democracy in Kenya?
I can say as a country,
yes,
we are progressing well, unlike our neighbors. Because Kenya is among the countries where people can insult people, can abuse people, can spread lies and rumors, and at the same time you can still go and take tea and milk in the hotel. That is freedom, that's democracy. So we are progressing well democratically as a country. The only thing that we have to look into is that as we go towards the next general election, we must emphasize that leaders should come with policies to convince the electorate. Don't come with hate. Come with ideas. What do you want to do to these people? What ideas do you have that you can do much better than those who are in power? That's how the democracy works. Let us stop incitement. Let us go to the people with manifestos. Let people compare these manifestos. So as we enter the coming general election, I have no doubt, one, that there will be unity in ODM, there will be unity in the Kalenjin community, and there will be strong agreement and alignment among the people and the parties that are supporting His Excellency the President. We are going to see a greater force of unity as we end up towards the coming general election. And the last thing that I also want to tell our youth is that they should remain guarded. They should not be misused for certain selfish political reasons. You know, our youths are very energetic. They are quick to reason. They are quick to act. They are quick to react. So we want also to tell them, safeguard your rights and your freedom. Do not allow yourself to be misguided or misused. You are learned. You understand the law. You understand the dynamics that we have as a society. So let no any political leader of any state misuse you.
Okay, wacha nikuulize ya mwisho tukifungia. Kuna mtu ameuliza, anaitwa Mtetezi, anauliza hii mambo ya vijana kwenda Russia and end up being recruited to Russian military. Several of them, including those from Kalenjin, have been killed. What can you comment about this as human rights activists?
One thing that I want to say on that issue is it's quite unfortunate that we are having our young people going abroad and losing their lives. Two, I want to dismiss this narrative that people say it is the government of Kenya. Government of Kenya has not initiated any policy of sending our young people to be recruited to fight for the Russian government. This is a question of rocky agents and individuals who believe that there is a better life or there is a better pay when you go and undertake that work. So we want to urge the government of Kenya to undertake a very serious concern about the lives of those young people. We want a data. We also want as a country to know how many of them are there and how many of them have died. And we also want to discourage them from going to that place. So going out to Russia is an individual decision. And it's also a question of manipulation by rogue agents who are benefiting in that transit of young people to Russia. Yeah.
Maybe tukimalizia, unaweza, as a director of human rights and democracy, unaweza ambia nini the citizens at large as your closing remarks?
Kile ambacho tunaambia wananchi wa Kenya ni kwamba tufanye siasa ya amani. Tufanye siasa ya kuongea, sio ya matusi. Na tutarajie sisi tukiwa wananchi kuuliza maswali ya uwajibikaji kwa uongozi. Kuanzia ward to the constituency, to the governor, to the MP, to the senator. we need a question of accountability. So tuwe na uzoefu wa kuuliza hayo maswali ya kuwajibika kwa viongozi wetu. Yeah.
Sawa sawa, asante sana. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for the great opportunity for listening to us. Asante sana. We hope you have learned something from the Human Rights Director. So every Sunday at 8 p.m. we are here to bring you very interesting and filtered conversations with the politicians, newsmakers, and key figures that are always shaping the region. So until next time, tutaonana. Have a good night and blessed